Hello and welcome to what do we call this? Jazz After Dark. That's right. I'm like always ready to do these different videos. Do we really even need to give them names? Thought that was kind of fun, but maybe that's not necessary. Hope you're having a good evening out there. We are financial advisors here at Jazz Wealth. Hope you'll check us out. And I get this question a lot. I'm going to kind of focus on it here tonight and give you some details wrapped around a decision whether to work with an advisor or not. Obviously, we hope you choose us, but let's just give you the foundation so you can go out there, talk to people, and shop and see if this is even something that you want to do. Now, this video is not going to be about the differences between advisors. I've done a bunch of those. Of course, you are welcome to just schedule a call and we'll just tell you, right? So we don't have like a sales pitch or anything. We'll just talk for a while and see if you should consider it, or if there's somebody else that may be a better fit, or maybe you're rich and you're just good to go, So lucky you. The thing I want to focus on is really the dollar amount. These days, when you start making over about $150,000 a year, whether it's just you or inside of your family, you have this type of income, it's probably a good idea to start at least getting some kind of help. Some people will go the planner route and have somebody do like a 1-year plan for them, and then you just visit them once a year. And other people will go the advisor route like us, because we're not just about the retirement side. We want to help with everything and anything that touches your money. And of course, you're welcome to pick on us as much as you like. Some people do. The reason I say 150,000 is because the number used to be about 100,000. And it's not because it's some arbitrary number. It was like at that point in your life, there's the risk of that spending creep, right? Or the income creep, where you're like, I'm making more now. And, I had this beginner job and I worked my way up a little bit. Now I'm making 100,000, and you start buying a little bit more nicer things. Not that that's a problem. Maybe you can do it. But we run into this problem where we're just buying and moving forward. We're not looking at what we're saving, which oftentimes is too much. So my biggest tip for tonight is most of you are saving too much. I read the articles about people that, kids can't have enough for retirement. I don't see it. Maybe 1 in 50 people will see like, oh, you're nowhere near where you need to be. But otherwise, people save too much, and it's because they blindly take a percentage. So tip number 1 for the day is, when you start making that kind of money, I hope you already are or you're on your way, but when you're at that point or higher, we really want to look and see, are you saving too much? You were saving 5% in your 401k, but that was when you were making 60,000. And now you're making 200 or whatever, and you just think you're doing the right thing, and happy to see your account grow. Take a look at our tool here. We let every client use this. We actually built it. This is our own custom thing, so we take client feedback and we build what's necessary. In this case, this person is 47, and now they're making 150,000. And so they want to retire at 65. They expect to live till 85. They've got about 200,000 saved already. We've got some return expectations after inflation. Of course, the salary and the increases there, but they're saving 10% of their salary, getting a 6% match. They're also putting in about $3,600 in an account here with us. Maybe it's a Roth IRA or something. And that's really it. They're not doing any other type of savings. That's a lot of money. Now, their retirement salary is 60, and of course some retirement returns. We've got all kinds of other stuff in here. We find out that you're saving too much. The optimum plan to meet this goal lies in here. And your plan has an extra $500,000 when you start your retirement. So right there, we can look at that and go, you're just saving too much, right? What good could you do with those other dollars? Congratulations, first of all, that you're saving too much, but what good could you do with those dollars, or what else do you want to conquer in your life? Like, why are we focused on retirement all the time? So our advice in this case would be, hey, you can't really reduce the savings you have here at Jazz by that much, because you're not saving that much. So what about a combination of both? We know now that on this plan, your retirement savings is going to last you longer than you're planning to live. I'm okay with a cushion here, but I don't know about that much cushion, right? That's pushing you almost to 90 years old. And maybe you have longevity, and that makes sense. But in this case, we'll pretend statistically this person is not going to live that long. So we can back down our contributions to our 401k. Now remember, they're getting a 6% match. We don't really want to give that up. But they could bring it down to 3.7% from this 10, and they'd be good. I'm not going to do that. I'm actually just going to say 6. Let's just contribute to get that 100% return. And now we've just saved ourselves $250,000. We'll presumably have a little bit more in our paycheck. I won't say, I guess, whether this is a Roth or a regular 401k. There may be less in their paycheck. We'll have to explore that. But now we've got a 4-year cushion. We know we're saving enough. We can even back this down here and say, well, look, my income is higher. Maybe I don't want to do a Roth IRA. I'm going to put 1,000 in my HSA, and try to build that up. Okay, that's a reasonable cushion. So right there, somebody who's saving a lot and follows the advice of the Dave Ramsey's and Susie Orman's and stuff, not bad advice, but it doesn't apply to this person because their income creeped out of the way. Let me bounce back real quick. Their 10% savings was fine at $60,000 a year, but because the income is creeped up, we don't have to save as much, right? So that's tip number one, really, is just we gotta know that number when you start making more. That's the tip of the iceberg. That's the long-term plan. We focus on the retirement, and then we work back into, actually just had a client, it's really late at night actually, and the client texts our number, and sometimes we get them, sometimes we don't. I don't know what the problem is there. But they text in a picture of them buying a truck. And we talked about it, right? We knew what the game plan was, but they finally bought the truck tonight, I guess, and they were excited. So those are other things we can focus on. We now can put retirement off to the sideline. Tip number 2 is the spread between your now income and your retirement. Does it need to be addressed, or is there a tax strategy to play there? And don't let me scare you here with this tax strategy stuff. Like, don't gloss over on me here. Real quick, I'll just explain it. When you were making $60,000 a year, you thought it was super cool to live on the same amount that you're making in retirement. Now you're making a lot more. If I can catch you before your lifestyle creep sets in and we can find strategic ways to spend more money, awesome. But if not, you might get comfortable living at this amount here. That means we may want to change this. So all that work we just did, maybe the answer is to make this $75,000 now. Oop, not that much. So maybe that's the answer. Okay, now we've got to go back and play the game again, right? So don't just barrel down one path and say that's it. Make sure you look at the whole thing. It's, darn it, I did want that 75. It turns out I'm really enjoying myself here at 150. My house will be paid off and I'll downsize or whatever, but I still like to have that 75. Well, now we know we have to go to 10.2%. We're not sad by that. We were just at 10%, so I'm going to go 10 here, right? We're close. We were doing that savings here at Jazz. We were at 3,600. Why change that? We say, okay, well, I just live in my life. Now I can say, maybe I didn't have something to buy. I would rather have more money in retirement. Maybe I'd rather retire a year earlier and say, well, let's just go 64 in there. Can I do that? It's cutting it close. I'm not willing to save any more dollars, but that's as close as I'm willing to cut it. So maybe 64 and a half or something like that, right? So those games can be played as well. And you really want to be careful there because I get it. We're not the oldest company out there. It was going on 7 years now. But as your life, through the last 7 years, if you'd been with us, your life, hopefully you made more money. You hope so because of inflation and stuff. But you've probably progressed and found ways to achieve more success in life. And that's awesome. But don't forget that retirement number. You started off with one number. I will pick on you for that. Or our clients, I will pick on you for that and say, I noticed you changed your income there. 60,000, you really going to back down that much? You're used to making 150, you're living it up. I see you on social, with your vacations and stuff. I think we probably ought to bump that number up. So there's 2 paths to go. The final point of this whole thing is we just want to know that number. That's really it. We want to know that it's all dialed in so that any extra dollars you have, you don't have to think, am I saving too little for retirement? I don't know, who cares? We figured it out. Let's go on to how you're going to pay for your kid's wedding or whatever it is that you want to do. So when you start making more money, and I use 150, but please don't let me alienate anybody who maybe went from making 40 to 65. That's a huge jump in itself right there. Same concept applies. I just noticed that when people get to that 100, 150 area, okay, we get excited. We get comfortable in life. We can spend a little bit. Now, we work with clients of all ages, all income sizes. We don't discriminate based on how much money you have or have saved or want to save. We actually just put our fees right on our website. We're not afraid to say the word fees there. The homepage, actually. You don't even have to look for it. So we think it's more than fair. And obviously, we set up our business in a position where We only grow if that account or what assets we manage for you grow. If they don't grow, we're sitting here twiddling our thumbs. That doesn't help us. So being someone who wants to make more money over time as well, our interests are aligned, right? Because I don't want to sit around and make the same amount all my life. I would like to make more, just like you. So hope you'll check us out there. Again, you're welcome to schedule a call. There's no strings attached. We genuinely don't have a sales pitch. Maybe one day we should come up with that, but something for another time. All right. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Thanks for hanging out with me. And congratulations to Jen, who very strategically just bought a really cool looking truck, I might add. All right. Enjoy the rest of your evening, guys. Thanks for watching. Adios.